I met a Gypsy.
What is the progression of that figure? Like, I mean, I'm sure there's this moment where you're like, oh, we just turned over $1 million.
Yeah.
And then it's like 10 million. And like, how
20.
quickly did that scale up?
Yeah, the one I remember the most was 20. And I don't know if it was a real number or it was just something we came up with. We had heard at some point, because, AXO had become number one, right? And so when I was little, I remember we were doing $4 or $5 million annually. That's like when I was a kid, the shocks and with the early stages of gear, it was like, I think $5 million. And we were pretty steady on that. And my dad was pretty happy with that, no risks and stuff. And then Greg and I got involved in it. I remember at some point hearing this rumor or, I don't know where we would have gotten that data. We heard that AXO was doing 20. They were number one and they were doing 20 million. And so we used that just as okay, that's the North Star.
Yeah.
Somehow
that's
we
the
got
pie in the sky.
Yeah, we ain't shit, and we're just fooling ourselves if we don't get to 20 million. Like, we think we're cool. Like, because that's always one of the things that bothered me. It's like, okay, you're okay, because there's some people find joy, and I'm cool, and I'm not going to be judged by anyone. I'm cool, whether it's a band or, we're not selling. Especially, I don't hear people talk about it anymore, but back then, sell out. That was a big fucking cultural thing. I don't hear anybody talk like that anymore now that I think of it. But it was like, sell out. And we're like, well, if you have that attitude, then are you really cool or you just think you're cool?
Yes.
So,
it was very skate. Like, that's still
very
in skate.
Yeah.
And it's like core.
Yeah.
Core. We got to be core. And
don't
it's
do
like,
contests. Like surf or skate. No contests.
You don't want to make money, bro. That's fucking lame. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm like, there's going to be a point in your life when when the money opportunity is over and you're going to go, what the fuck was wrong with me? So we heard this $20 million figure that AXO had achieved or something. We're like, whoa, that's huge. Okay, somehow that's the goal. That's the gauge of, are we cool? Are we number one?
Yeah.
And that's all we care about is coolest number one company. So the goal was 20 million. And then I remember after that, we're like, okay, somehow the 20 million came from this idea that AXO was 20. The next one was 100 million. And I don't know where that came from. I don't know if it was from surf or something. Because that became, after we were able to achieve okay, we're the number one motocross brand in the world. The next thing was surf, skate, action sports. Because for a while, I graduated high school. I moved to San Diego because my best buddy moved to San Diego. He went to college, and I didn't go to college, but I'm like my best friend moved to San Diego, and I've been living at home. I'm going to move to San Diego, Dad. And so I was designing out of my apartment and stuff. And
so you were doing remote work before it was cool.
Yeah. And the best thing about that is that San Diego had that surf culture.
Yeah.
And like Massimo and Quicksilver and all these companies are starting, and it's all coming from Southern California. And I'd hang out with all my friends down there, and they're surfing, and I'm like, everybody's wearing Quicksilver or Massimo shorts and stuff. You go to a Supercross race, they're fucking wearing Quicksilver and Massimo, and nobody's wearing, whether it's Fox or anybody else. Nothing's cool. Everyone, what the fuck? You're going to a Supercross race and you're going to wear... I'd see people wearing surf T-shirts, hoodies. It pissed me off. I'm all that we have to, as a culture, as an industry, we have to fix this. They need to be wearing moto brands. And so being down in San Diego, I started to really try to understand how are they doing this? How are they taking this sport and turning it into a lifestyle? And that was Terra Firma, and all of that was kind of the background of all of that is let's turn this moto into a lifestyle so that we're at the same table with Quicksilver and these guys like Moto and then, but miracle of all miracles, the X Games are created, right? And that created this forum that all these young people are now aware of the X Games, and Moto is in there. And so we had an opportunity to be one of those. I think without X Games, I don't know if it would have happened.
Really? It was that important culturally?
I think, X Games was huge.
Yeah.
It was huge. culturally, it was massive. I mean, that's why Travis is Travis, right? And that's why
Brian
some
is
ways
Brian.
yeah. All of it. Those were cool times.
And it's just crazy too when you sit here and you kind of like chronologically go through it. Just how many of these separate timelines kind of line up to create what was created, you know?
Yeah. So I forgot how we even ended up on that, but yeah, it was surf and skate and all of that was. Oh, we were talking about the kind of growth of the company.
So yeah, how quickly did you go from 20 to 100 then?
I don't know. I think that was faster than getting to 20.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah.
So it's like so many graphs, and because what you're dealing with is compound interest,
Yeah.
and not necessarily compound interest in the sense that your money's in a bank, but there's this compounding of energy and time and resources, and you're just working on this company and this project for so long, and you're compounding those efforts. And so it's 5 million, 5 million, 5 million, 5 million, 5 million, 5 million, 20 million, 100 million. Like that's how these things work when you are putting in effort over time that does see the results of compounding.
It hockey sticks.
Yeah.
Right. And so, and part of that is momentum and
Yeah.
compounding and all those things. And the other part is that lifestyle component was huge. It was huge. We got a lot of shit for it internally from people, externally from people. You know, you're selling it. I don't know if, you know, this is about when we started selling to the malls, right? Selling the lifestyle. We'd sell to the same
So this is when you're putting the clothing
lifestyle
into
outside of moto dealers.
PacSun and all that shit.
Oh, exactly.
Zoomies.
Yeah. And the moto dealers hated us for it at first. And the
Really?
moto fans hated us for it. And we're like, my philosophy and our thought at the time was, if this is bringing us up to a level of appreciation and respect at a certain level. It's the kids at the Supercross wearing a Fox shirt or Honda or whatever it's going to be, you know, Oakley, instead of Quicksilver. Like, let's make that happen, right? Can't we all feel good about that?
Yeah, yeah.
And then the other thing was we were starting to get attention from outside, right? Moto was starting to get No Fear, and non-moto brands are starting to like, hey, let's get the exposure of these top guys. And I thought, fuck, if we don't grow to that level, we're going to lose this.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, you know, Jeremy McGrath's going to be wearing like a Levi's fucking jersey, like a Wrangler. Like, we can't let this happen, because that was a real thing. People don't realize it. That was I was thinking about that all the time. We're going to lose this. We're going to lose the top athlete guys. We're going to lose it somehow. You know, Nike fucking motocross boots and 1-800-COLLECT and Levi's or Wranglers and all this stuff. Like, I don't want to lose this. Like, I want moto. I want it to be all moto. Like, fuck, let's take moto all the way. That was important. So,
if you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.